And from an $80,000 a month salary to absolutely zero.
I've been in the credit space for the last 5 years, learned a lot, paid a lot of money, figured out a lot of different things. But one thing I noticed was it's all about relationships. Everybody wants to pay money to get in these groups, but how many relationships do you make in that group? That's how you know you're in a room. When the big boys call you, they say, push this, and I say, I already got it. Because most people won't pull no money out their pocket.
I'm gonna pay this person $50,000 just to make sure that I knew everything that there was to know.
Let's make a lot of money on e-com. 25K a month, residual every month.
And that was profit.
Profit, pure profit.
Well, you need to restructure your mindset on a funnel. It means it's a break even. You break even on the front end and you make money on the back end. That's how you make $1 million. I've done this over time and time and time again.
Yo, welcome back to another episode.
Brah.
The Elite King Podcast. I
The
go by
Elite
the
King
name
850.
The Elite King 850.
The most
And
amount of credit you could ever receive.
you already know. You already know. So we got my guy, Ahmid, in the building. How you feeling today?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm blessed to be here, man. It's great to be around people that are doing things and moving forward. And, I'm excited, man. I got my guy from Chicago out here, man. Out in Florida, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Out in Florida. Welcome.
In Florida. I've been itching to get back to Florida. I always tell myself every year, like, from the moment it starts snowing, I got to get down to Florida. You know what I'm saying? So you've been telling me to come out to Florida. You've been telling me, yo, you got to meet my man's Brains, yo.
Yes, sir.
You was telling me a lot about him. And we actually briefly spoke a long time ago because I was getting this number 2 days ago, and it was like, it's already saved in my phone. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been doing business with him a minute. So yes. I was like, bro, can't wait to meet him. Like, he's a big deal. So I'll tell you what I learned about him, and I'll let him introduce his damn self. But, you already told me he's a big deal. He's worked with all the people that I've looked up to. And you can correct me if I'm wrong about this, you know what I'm saying? But, like, what you say? What you say?
500, Sean Sharma.
That's like Jay-Z and Diddy to me.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? I look up to those guys like, like for real. So you got to work with the people I look up to the most. And honestly,
Diddy's crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy right now. Hey, he's Daisy, but
Jay-Z, like, that's a wild one for you to drop right now.
I'm just talking billionaire status. I'm talking about the people at the highest level of what I do. Business consulting, business funding.
I've done all of it.
I'm just making a comparison. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'll let you introduce yourself, man. Brains, how's it going? How you feeling today, man?
I'm phenomenal. My name is Kevin Vieira. My name is @Brains on Instagram. And I've done a lot of marketing for the top people that you see on Instagram.
That's what's
so,
up.
like, anybody that you see or know about, I've probably done their marketing for. I'm the behind-the-scenes guy. I'm the guy that you don't know about, and I be in the behind-the-scenes, but I'm the guy that you do know about. Mm-hmm. Because all the people that you do see online is because of me. I'm the real internet marketer in the streets.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and that was shocking to me. Like, just off the brief conversations that we had, I was just like, yo, I'm coming down here to mastermind, to network, and to learn, from the greatest of the greatest, the people that have done it before me. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I just got to get in the same room with the GOATs at the end of the day, Oh. So I chop it up, start with Ahmid just because you introduced me. We met through just our network of people, you know what I'm saying? Sean Sharma put that group together, and the network was just strong. It's just like, if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? If you in this credit space, you know who the big names are, and a lot of those big names are in the same group, ironically, sharing data points.
The circle's not as big as you think it is.
Exactly.
We all know each other. We're all in the same space, and it's amazing, man, because just me and you alone, man, it's really just about putting in the work, bro. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you to be down here. I'm excited you to be around it because it definitely is a blessing, man. For me personally, I've been in the credit space for the last 5 years. Learned a lot, paid a lot of money, figured out a lot of different things. But one thing I noticed was it's all about relationships.
Exactly.
So you get into these groups, everybody wants to pay money to get in these groups, but how many relationships do you make in that group, right?
That's the most important thing. If we're going to talk about anything, it's all about, like, yo, we have to envy Ahmid and what he's done. Ahmid has paid and paid and paid to be in relationships in rooms, and you have to pay to be in the room.
Facts.
And if you're not paying to be in the room, like, you're not in the room.
Simple.
Like, yo, you've done such a great job, and we have to really honor what you've done because, like, yo, you're a GOAT.
I appreciate that.
You're a GOAT.
Appreciate that.
You're, like, really a G. You've created so many relationships. You've fostered so many relationships. And you're
Helped
amazing.
out so many people.
You've helped so many people.
At Mid Help Me. Look me up. At Mid Help Me.
Yo, you've really created so many things. And we have to really foster and admire what you've done because you've done a really, really great job.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's get into it.
How you get in the credit space in the first place? Because, you know, when we started talking, you was big into e-com, and you had e-com figured out like just
I was
nothing
big on
to walk in
e-com.
the park. So
Amazon dropshipping was my shit for a while. I was making a lot of money on e-com.
you can drop numbers if you want, but if you don't want to, it's cool.
I don't know. There might be some couple people watching this.
Right,
you know,
right.
20, 25K a month, residual every month.
And that was profit.
Profit, pure profit.
Sheesh. So you got the cash flow, gross, you buy the inventory, and then you're profiting.
Yep.
That's different.
And you know what I did though? But I took that money and I said, you know what? This might stop. So most people will look at money like that and be like, oh, I don't have to work no more. I said, you know what? I'm gonna double down. And I've been doing that ever since.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna double down on more information. I'm gonna double down on more connections. I'm gonna double down on the people. And that's a secret of this shit, man. People think it's all sunsets and rainbows, man. It's really about really understanding your value, understand where you can go, and then fucking paying the money. It sucks that I keep saying that. Just pay the fucking money. Because most people won't pull no money out their pocket.
That's the secret. I met this guy. He was in 2018. And I met this guy. He came over to this house that I was in. And he said, yo, I'm going to pay this person $50,000 just to make sure that I knew everything that there was to know.
Facts.
And I was like, yo, what? His name is Sean Sharma. He was like, I'm going to pay this person $50,000 just to make sure that I knew everything there was to know. And he dropped game that I can't drop here. But he was like, I'm going to pay this person $50,000 just to make sure I knew everything there was to know. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Like, you're comfortable. I want to pay this person this amount of money to make sure that I knew everything that there was to know about the credit and the funding and everything there else is to know.
Somebody's year's salary. He's putting that down to get the information so he can make more.
Just to make sure he knew everything there was to know. I was like, yo, that is the biggest learning lesson I've ever learned. And I've applied that to my life ever since.
And that was 2018, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean.
We got to get into how you
crazy.
ran into. You remember how you ran into him?
How I ran into Sean Shermer? All right, so Sean was actually it was kind of weird. Like the 8-week group was a thing, right? Never got close enough to him, but the scary thing about those rooms are, if you pay to get in, and you have enough value, you can essentially move up the ladder. So, for example, I paid $10,000 to get an 8-week group, and then me and Sean got kind of close.
Really?
And it was funny because I knew Brains at the time too, and he was like, "Oh, you know Brains?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, we're all locked in together. So he was like, "Oh, okay, you're in the room."
Right.
And from there, man, it just exploded. But I mean, he's known Sean since before Sean even blew up. So I was just like,
man, Sean's just really the GOAT, man. Shout out to him, cause like
shout out to Sean.
that's crazy.
Sean's cool. That's cool.
I love him.
So back then, like you met Sean around the time he was right about to blow up, and you guys were able to collaborate and like, cause you said he paid you for some marketing, like to really blow up.
Yeah, $69,000, and I tried to blow him up as much as I possibly could. And we created some programs. It's the travel hacking program. It's the credit program. Like we did a lot together, and we like really blew him up Like we spent $80,000 a month, $100,000 a month in ads.
Sheesh.
Like,
That's wild.
It was a lot. It was a lot. Like respect. Like nobody can outstand him because I meet a lot of people, but nobody's throwing $100,000 in ads like Sean Sharma is.
Facts.
So
And a lot of
nobody spent that much with you on ad spend since?
No.
And a lot of people don't even know
No.
Sean's background is like a Cornell medical student,
Cornell.
like stupid smart. Like
Right.
there's levels to it
He went to
because
Cornell.
going to school to be a doctor and then decided I'm gonna do entrepreneurship. So a lot of times, man, these people, man, that we look up to or people that are doing this stuff, bro, they're actually fucking smart as fuck. And
Yeah.
that's why I have you here because I know you have that in you.
Mm-hmm.
I got my brother here too, and I'm saying he's smart like that too. And you got to be in rooms like that because you're only gonna go faster if you're with fast niggas. In the story,
They say you can go quick,
We never
fast
said that word.
alone. You can go fast alone, or you can go far. You know what I'm saying, with the team at the end of the day. So
Facts.
I was like, I had to fly down here because like I gotta be around people that are smarter than me at the end of the day. Like back home, it's a lot of mentees. You know, it's a lot of people that they're not. I'm not gonna say they're draining me, but it's a lot of like, damn, like I can't be the only person that is on this type of time when it comes to credit and wanting to, business funding and all of that stuff. Like it's gotta be more people that's just like 10 years ahead of me already. So I can get to it at the end of the day.
Good, Todd. Tell me your credit score right now because you got 850 up. But tell me your credit score.
Yeah, man. If I check myfico.com, I can probably find a little 840, 849 type of thing.
Yes,
If I
sir.
check the app right now, it's just stuck at like 830-ish. But I got a way to fix that. It's gonna get to that solid 850. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes,
That's huge.
yeah.
That's huge, bro.
Because I preach good credit, and I'm a 740. So to get to an 850 is insane.
Yeah. It's in my
insane.
highlights. Like I posted on my story on the gram. Just like if you search my credit score on my highlights, you're gonna see a bunch of things I got approved for. A lot of business credit, a whole lot of business credit. I'm not gonna say the number right now, but just a whole lot of business credit that is just like, man, it's monopoly money at this point. So
Yes.
we in the business of like funding people and like, so you leverage credit to do the e-com and then you got into the funding game and all of that.
Correct.
So like you leverage what you've learned from just the 8-week group and other sources and other mentees as well. You just
So, bro, really where it started, man. I I definitely leveraged what I learned in the 8-week, but it wasn't about the 8-week. The 8-week was, I'm gonna be honest, cameras around, medium, bro. There was a lot of things I learned early. Like one of the biggest guys on Instagram, you can look him up. His name is Leverage Pro Austin.
yeah, he knows.
Austin
Yeah.
Nelson.
Yeah.
Austin Nelson taught me so much shit. He went so high level to the point where I had to take a step back, and I was like, whoa, like you're teaching me things that nobody's supposed to tell any other people. So I went from that 8-week, Herman, a couple other little groups that I joined, but I got obsessed. I got obsessed with information at a point,
Yeah.
and I don't. The funny part is now, like as I've grown in the credit space, I actually don't even have to do the research anymore because it's on the back of my hand now.
Yeah.
But I still got to work. I still got to get better. I still got to watch certain things, and I still got to learn new information. But I would say, when I got around that, I already knew what it was. It was pretty simple, man. Credit is not. It's not as confusing as people make it seem. But if you ask me a high level question, I can answer it. If you ask me a low level question, I can handle it too. So what really helped me out was just being on enough phone calls where certain people would ask me whatever question they're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because with credit, everybody's at a certain place, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter your score, it doesn't matter this, doesn't matter your strategy. Everybody's in their own spot. So you got to give them the right steps so they can go forward.
Funny you say that because I do a lot of consultation calls, right? Like I try and meet people where they're at. Like
Facts.
I can help you where you at. Like, hey, step number 1, click this link. You're gonna get a copy of your credit report. Other than that, like, please don't waste my time trying to describe your credit report over the phone. Just let me see it. Let me put eyes on it.
Exactly.
And
That's what I tell them all the
literally-
time.
I can literally, like, once I set eyes on your report,
Then I can tell you what
I can
to do
fast
next.
track what you need to get 6 figures in business funding, right?
Facts.
But you know, like other people I know that they're in the credit space, they think they got it so automated, like it's a one size fits all approach. Like Zelle me or wire me this money and then file a police report and get your credit fixed in 30 days. It's just weird. It's hilarious the how it's like there's different people. Like I'm a business consultant, you know, at the end of the
100%.
day. It's not just like, oh, let's delete some stuff off your report. Like my clientele is a little different. And if I do get a consultation where somebody like maybe they don't even know about business credit, I'm gonna enlighten them and let them know, hey, did you know there was this? Like I see you working so hard, but why don't you have a couple $1,000s to fix your situation? Why? You know, and we break it down. Like I did a consultation even yesterday or the day before on this lady. It was an hour-long phone call. It was supposed to be a 15-minute conversation, but you know, she didn't sign up or nothing. But I made her like say some things out loud, and she never even went over. Like, why'd you do that? Okay, what's the most you've ever invested in yourself? Like a genuine consultation, and I didn't get paid for that outside of her spending that dollar for the consultation. But it was one of those things where, like, I'm genuinely trying to help these people out and realize, like, it's all habits and decision making. Like, you don't have a money problem. Like, to have a money problem, you have to have money, right? So yeah, it's like it's not a money problem. Like, you know, as many people as I mentee, it's like a lack of information and then the execution on that information. So I mean, it sounds like over the years you've tapped into some high level like entrepreneurs that are just way ahead of the game. You've invested in yourself. You got that information. You adapted it to now to the point where you can easily do funding in your sleep. You know, e-com on the side, other things on the side. It's just like that's amazing at the end of the day. And then
Appreciate that, bro.
connecting down, like so y'all got down here to Florida to mastermind. Ultimately, like, what's to come out of that? What are you thinking?
Oh man, it's a team, man. It's the team, man. It's Onyx, baby. Look at the chain, you know.
You know what I'm saying?
Like being around people, man. It's being around people that's doing the same thing as you, man. And,
Priceless.
And like no, Brains. He's done taken me to the side a couple times. Just said, bro, like you gotta think bigger.
Yeah.
Think big.
Yeah, think bigger.
So I want to know how you got to where you are. You know what I mean? A little bit more of your background, you know?
I'll tell you.
I'm just making all these assumptions like, damn, bro, this guy's big. If he's worked with the biggest people, like,
Yeah.
where did it all start for you?
I was a high school dropout that had a crazy road-like fame through like touring, playing video games like Minecraft. And, you know, I've toured the country, you know, I've met a lot of fans and I've done like a lot of crazy things. And it wasn't until the moment where like it gets taken away from you. And when it gets taken away from you at such a high point, you know, making $80,000 a month, like, and when it gets taken away from you and you're like realizing like, yo, that's the most amount of money we've ever seen in my family, period. And when it gets taken away from you and you're like, what's next? And I had to sell everything, anything and everything.
Let's go back a
when it was-
little bit.
Okay.
Let's go back just a little bit because it's like I want to take it back to the point where somebody can listen to this podcast and maybe try to follow your footsteps because it's like people can look at you and just make the assumptions. Oh man, he's probably a trust fund kid or whatever. Like what state were you originally from, and what sort of were you middle class, high class? Like where did it start? You said high school dropout from where? Where did it all start?
So I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, and I had absolutely nothing to my name. And I would do anything and everything to make a buck. And I've created projects, some failed, some made success.
You had jobs?
And I had a job.
First
yeah.
job.
My first job was screen printing, where like you're right next to a heater that's like 600 degrees, and, you know, screen printing, you know, shirts. And I like made my way up. Like, it's like, hey, I don't want to be in here anymore. And I try to sell them on a website. I try to sell them on anything. And I didn't know how to do these things, but I learned and I adapted. And it wasn't to the point where, like, I was able to get out and I joined the group. I was an MCN, which is a multi-channel network. on YouTube, and I would help people get monetized on the platform.
How did you
And
have time for that? I want to break that down in the sense that you escaped the job, you know, your screen printing job, and then you had job after job, right? But like, what was the transition to entrepreneurship? Because you were saying you found the MCM, but that's because you were doing some YouTube stuff, or
yeah, so I have a video game background, so I love playing video games. That was my escape from my home, because growing up in a tough household where my parents, like had a tough upbringing. And, all I did was just try to figure anything and everything out. And I created groups where we would collaborate and upload into a single platform, where I was picked up by an MCN, and they were like, yo, you can make money just by recruiting other YouTubers, because that's what you were good at. And I did that. And to the point where I got this huge group of YouTubers who were blowing up, like millions of views. And I really got lucky, and they picked me up, and I joined this group, and I became a part of them, to the point where, we were like traveling the country meeting fans, and I felt like a rock star, like just meeting younger fans, whatever the case may be. And, you know, that didn't last super, super long, because we were picked up by Disney, and one day I misedited one of my videos where I started smoking on camera, and from an $80,000 a month salary to absolutely zero. They took everything away from me.
it was like an email notification? Hey, we're cutting you off, or what? What was that like?
Yeah, just a phone call. And I was head notary for Disney and Nickelodeon, and at one point I had everything into zero. And one day, and this is from me coming from my parents' house, having $10,000 in my pocket, moving from Boston to California, and I lasted 8-10 months before all this happened.
So talk to me. So 10,000 in your pocket, move to Cali. You're consistent with the content creation online.
Yeah.
And then does it gradually get to 80,000 a month?
No, it was just flat like this. I remember when I would go to my astronomy class as my first class in the morning, and I'd get there late, and I'd put my head down, and then I'd check my phone, and it'd be like, yo, you made $10,000 today. And I'd look at all my students and my peers and my classmates, and I was like, what am I doing?
This is high school.
High school.
Damn, this is high school. And it's so
Like,
is it the MCA or like YouTube combined with like
Yeah.
YouTube money just hitting your
Everything.
account, and you can't even focus on class,
Yeah.
and you're just like, what am I doing? You kind of already
What
know
am I
what you want to do.
doing? What am I doing? And I've had great moments. I've had bad moments. But the number one moment that I clearly remember and that I'd love to share with you guys is, I had a lot of experiences and moments that I'd love to skip over. And I could share those if you'd want me to.
Yeah, definitely.
But-
Don't skip over nothing. They want to know
Okay.
step by step.
I moved to LA. I did my thing. I lost everything. I had to move back, and I got a gig at Harvard Business School as a high school dropout, and I've helped them sell standardized testings to, students that wanted to go to the next level. And we did 8 figures, not 7, not 6, 8 figures selling standardized testing coaching to students. And they taught me the math and the logical reasoning of how people buy things, and I did that. And
How'd you get that opportunity?
dude, it was a test out of 100 people, and they just tested and interviewed 100 different people, and I got number 1. I was the number one person. And, you know, I would pull up my Snapchat and I would pull up my Instagram and I'd have 15, 16,000 people watching my stories every single day. And that's what led me to have such a great opportunity because Harvard never seen that before. They'd never seen that before. And I've seen Jack Dorsey, the former CEO of Twitter. I've met, you know, the offsprings of the Obamas, Malia. I've met these people being in those positions, and but one day, like I just woke up, and I couldn't wear a suit and tie anymore. I just couldn't, and you know, it led me to being in positions where I leveraged my reputation and my previous performances at Harvard to go out and do bigger things. And I've done bigger things with other people. And that's where I went into the make money online industry. And I had this ATM course where it was about essentially teaching people how to make money with ATMs. And I did 8 figures in there, like literally 10 million, $12 million in cash within less than 12 months just from learning and applying what I learned at Harvard. And as a dropout, like as a high school dropout.
I want to
And-
break this down because I'm listening to learn, right? Like with the Harvard opportunity, it was a job. It was like a job opening you applied for, or did they reach out to you?
No,
Because I want to
applied
take
for
luck
it.
out of the equation, right?
It's because I came from this influencer background and then I lost everything. And when I lost everything, I was doing anything and everything that I could. I came home super upset at myself and embarrassed. I was embarrassed with myself. I was so embarrassed. And I
Did
just
you
applied
save
and
any of
applied
the
and applied.
80,000 a month? Like
No.
you blew it all? What type of? You remember what you spent it on?
Dude, partying, a lot of partying. I'm an idiot. Like I blew it all.
Interesting.
Like I had nothing left to my name. Nothing.
Because that mindset was just like it's a waterfall for the rest of your life. Like just
I thought I was good. I felt like a rock star. I would travel to state, meetups and meetups, and I felt like a rock star. And I had girls, and I had fucking people, and like I just felt like a rock star.
Got
and
it.
it came out as soon as it came in.
Got it.
Facts. That
So
fast, that
you
fast
go
life.
back to Boston, and
I
you were
saw
searching for the
everything.
opportunity. You
No,
applied,
it
or
was out of desperation. I had to desperately figure my way out, and I studied and I studied and I studied. And then one day I came across this Craigslist posting,
Craigslist?
and I found out, like, as they didn't even tell me, it was a Harvard Business School, like, application. And I was like, what? Like, and they're like, you're actually 1 out of 100 contestants. And I was like, what are you talking about? And they did all this interviewing. I've done multiple interviews, 2, 3, 4 interviews, and they were like, "You did it. You got number one. We're hiring you." And it was all based off of the information that I had and the clout that I had at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "You're that person." And it's not because I got lucky, it's because I was malleable. I was like, whatever you teach me or whatever you tell me, I'll fit the key to whatever you need me to be. And that's how I got the gig at Harvard Business School. It wasn't because I was a smart. It wasn't because I was a genius. It wasn't because I had a secret code. It was because I had some information and I had some background, but it was all because I was willing to be malleable to whatever they needed me to be. And I did that.
So out of that 8 figures, were you working off a salary, or were you getting a percentage of whatever you were able to help them sell the standardized testing? Like, how did that even work out to work your way back up to a good financial position
Good question. I got absolutely nothing.
from Harvard?
Nothing.
How does that work? Explain.
I got absolutely nothing from Harvard. Nothing. They didn't pay me a single dime. Nothing. They didn't pay me anything. The only thing they paid me was out of relationships that I've created and fornicated from my time there. But there was this promise, and like they just finessed the shit out of me, bro. Like they didn't pay me a single thing. Nothing.
Wow. How did you see the numbers to know, like,
Because I ran everything. I ran all the funnels. I ran all the traffic. I ran all the ads. I did everything and anything and everything possible for 8 months, and they didn't pay me a single dime.
it was just a promise of a, sheesh. That's wild.
Not a single dime. And I showed up, suit and tie, every single day, and they didn't pay me anything. Nothing.
How were you surviving during that 8 months without getting paid?
I lived with my parents. I had to. Like, I would take the bus to go to Harvard because it's down the road from where I lived. I would take the bus. I'd take the train. Like, I'd get there in whatever means possible. And one day I just woke up and I was like, I'm tired of dressing up, suit and tie and everything just to not get anything. And I was tired. And I leveraged all this information that I got from them, and I got myself another gig. And when I got myself that other gig, I made millions.
What was that? You said, so the ATM course, do you remember the name of it? Like,
Yes, it's called the ATM Academy. Eric Luvano and Jet Set. His name is Josh King Madrid. Very controversial topic, but I made them millions, and I made millions.
Sheesh. So in the span of how many months with the ATM? So you hop in the ATM, you do a deal with
Less
them.
than a year. Less than a year. I was doing $1 million a month. All just because of what I understood and what I learned from Harvard. And it's just all like logical thinking. And I applied all that information that I could to whatever their program was. I did millions of dollars. Yo, imagine one day on a Sunday, end a webinar, you do $428,000 in a night.
Sounds like a high ticket course. Like, are these $5,000 courses?
No, it was $1,000 at the time. Again, this is very early on. Like, I pioneered this. I pioneered it. And then people try to steal this shit from me. Like, I pioneered this stuff.
ATM Academy. Sheesh, got 400 signups from the webinar. So it's like the webinar would be like the lead magnet. Hey, we're having a free webinar, show you how you can make money with ATMs in different locations.
Exactly.
And this sounds so familiar. I might have seen that program a few years ago. It's probably saved one of the posts, but like they get thousands of people each week to pretty much, they'll give you the information, right? But then the implementation, you can pay a few $1,000s to implement. And then I'm guessing, do they help you source locations to where they put those ATMs?
It's just information, just a straight up course. You know, it's just straight up coaching. And, you know, we just help people like get from A to Z to understand like how to get an ATM, how to source one, how to repair it, you know, how to, you know, like service it, you know, and how to like make money off of it. And that's literally all we do. We just sold information on how to like source an ATM machine.
So is that a chapter that's completely closed?
I'd say so. Like today, to this day and age, like I have these people hitting me up, the same people that I helped do this for. They help me up pretty weekly and be like, "Yo, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again." But I'm just on to so much bigger things that I wouldn't touch it anymore.
What inspires you? What is next? What would you want to get into? That what's the reason you wake up every day these days?
Yeah, so I think like what inspires me the most is that going through a sequence of like, yo, I was able to make millions. with that at such a young, early age. And keep in mind, I'm a young kid. I'm a cat. And what inspires me today is the evolution of it. And that's what I've always taught other people is, whatever you do today won't be the same thing you do tomorrow. And I've evolutionized myself to learning and growing to how to exit, because I'm tired, I'm old, like I can't do the same thing I've done every single day because it's a lot of work. Now I'm evolving myself into SaaS, service, software as a service, and I'm building SaaSes up and software companies up so I can go out and exit for a few $1,000,000 and keep repeating and repeating and repeating, because I can do that. I got the marketing figured out. I got the customer acquisition system figured out. So I know that, like, hey, if I can acquire a customer for $30, then I'd be happy to spend 40. Because if I could spend $40 to acquire a customer and lose $10 on the front end, then I know on the back end that that person will make me 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. And you do that at scale. And you do that at scale to 10, 50, 100, 1,000, 2,000, 5, 10,000 people. And now I can control my customer acquisition systems to making something super amazing. And it wasn't until the moment where I've decided to move to Orlando. And this is the moment that I want to share. Is I was living in Las Vegas, another crazy story. And I had a secondary house in Maine. And somebody had a company here in Orlando, and they were like, yo, come to Orlando, let's talk about our systems, let's talk about what you can do for us, because they're going public in the Canadian stock market. And you go public in the Canadian stock market, which is a lot easier in the United States stock market than the NASDAQ. You go at 25 cents, and if it goes to a few bucks, then you're multi-millionaires. And they brought me here, and I stayed at a Hilton, not too far from where we are now. And we talked about it, we discussed it, and it wasn't until a moment where he was like, yo, I'm having my birthday down in Miami. And we had a birthday in Miami for him, and there was a room just like this, and where it was a round table full of entrepreneurs. And he was like, yo, Drew, how's school at Yale going? Yale being an Ivy League school. And he said, I couldn't tell you. And now all the conversations all around us shut up. He was like, what do you mean, Drew? What are you talking about? He said, I couldn't tell you because I haven't been going. It's like, what do you mean? Your parents pay $50,000 a semester for you to go. He said, couldn't tell you because I paid a virtual assistant $16 a day to take all my classes, all my homework, all my assignments, all my classes, all my projects, anything and everything to do with school that person did for $16 a day.
A virtual assistant.
A virtual assistant.
Genius.
I was like, yo, what? He's younger than me. And when you have somebody that's younger than you and they're doing better than you, it makes you feel a type of way.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel a type of way.
Yeah. Those are the type of people I like to be around. Just like, hey, I know
like,
it's possible.
I'm like, yo, what? What are you talking about? And I remember very clearly a moment where my parents brought me into the kitchen of our super povertish apartment. And they're like, Kevin, they're crying, tears coming down their face. Kevin, please go back to school. Go to school. Go become a lawyer. Go become a doctor. Go become an accountant. Go become whatever and anything possible. But don't do this. And I listened to this guy, and he said, yo, I pay somebody $16 a day and they go to Yale for me. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? What is happening?
It broke the matrix.
They broke me. I was like, oh my God, you're right. And I thought about it when my mom was bawling her eyes out, speaking to me and being like, Kevin, please go back to school. I was like, Mom, I got it figured out. I'll figure it out eventually. But this kid, younger than me, had already figured it out.
Wow.
He was going to school without going to school. I was like, wow, you broke me, bro. And I came back, and anything and everything that I did was all about like figuring out how I could replicate.
You started outsourcing. You grabbed some VAs for yourself, and
Yeah, I built a virtual assistant team in the Philippines. I built an office out there. We built it 60 people deep. And with the help of Ahmid, you know, we've built like 60 people deep in the Philippines. I've hired from Pakistan.
They had a whole statue of brains.
Yo, they had a statue of me.
nah, I gotta see that. Hang on,
They
that
had
one
a
you gotta send a
statue of
picture
me.
of that
Bro, they
joint,
sent a picture over,
and
it was
I'm gonna post it
crazy.
on the
They had a
podcast
statue of me.
with the Onyx chain too.
I think so, yeah.
It looked like a Hasbullah right there.
It's like literally like Hasbullah.
Right like this.
But an actual life-size version of me
Facts.
that they took from my Instagram, and they made that shit. And I built this whole crazy office, and like I built this crazy company just from that one single conversation. That one single conversation has catapulted my life into a position that I've never thought before.
Wow.
That one single conversation has led me to impact lives of hundreds of people from that one conversation.
So you got this 60 staff virtual assistant.
60 people, bro. 60
What
people.
are they doing for you? They're helping you build out the SaaS company, or what are they? what businesses? You got multiple businesses, or
It's customer support. It's fulfillment. It's, you know, Amazon. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot, bro. It was a lot. Like, all these people had a single job, and they all worked out of this one single office every single day. And they worked harder than me. And that's what's the most important thing to know, is that, like, when I hired those people, they worked way harder than me.
yeah.
Way harder than me. I'd wake up and they'd be like, oh, I already did half your job and some for the day. I'm like, yo, I just waking up. Like, can you relax? No. These people who worked way harder than me. And I pay them like $6. $6.
Yeah, I was about to ask that next. Like,
$6
$6
for the
an hour.
day?
Wait, $6 an hour?
No, it's a $1.30
$1.30.
for an hour.
But we're moving past VAs nowadays, because VAs essentially they're good,
They're
but
not creative.
we need, like,
No.
for me personally, definitely in the funding game, 85% of my people I deal with are my people, and they want to talk to people.
Right.
So if you can have a conversation with them, then you're already losing, right? So like VAs just don't have it to be able to talk normal to people. It could be a text, it could be a phone call. They just don't got it. So at a point, you get to a certain point in your business where you have to move away from the VAs, because it might sound like a little bit of money, but the money you pay for an American to do it, or a person who can speak the same language, is 10 times as worth it. Like, I already wanted to bring on my cousin, family member, because I said, you could talk the language. And a lot of people just want to follow up, bro. A lot of people just want to be talked to every day.
Yeah. I hear that all the time.
So this is what happens a lot with this funding stuff, bro. We get so many clients and all these people that need money, and they kind of get thrown under the bus. Like, if you don't have a 700 plus, then it's like, talk to you when I talk to you. But if you have somebody following up, keeping up, and they're
That's
U.S.
American.
based,
Ooh,
it's blessed.
crazy.
That is
Crazy
that is
difference.
very.
I'm split. I'm split on it. You know, like, I had to let go of one VA recently, and then the other one that I got, my client relationships manager. And, you know, I talked to her about what needs to be done and cross off these boxes and follow up with this customer. Like, a lot of the conversations that we have is just like, this is what you would say in these situations, and it makes sense, right? Like, I had a lady paid me a couple $1,000 to fix her credit. I'm like, cool. So, like, send your documents so we can work on, the whole phase 1 part. She's like, she didn't send the documents. So my VA was like, she sent a photo of just the wrong thing. It was kind of goofy. I was like, okay, fix it. Like, call her and tell her why. And then, so she basically, long story short, I had to explain, like, her credit is worthless to me. Like, you should know this. Like, we can't do nothing with her credit. Like, we're not gonna get approved. We can't steal it. We can't do anything.
Right.
So I had to break that down just to explain to her. And then my VA catches on. She gonna catch on to, like, the type of conversations that she's having with each and every client, because it is very tedious and time consuming to deal with a lot of people that, hey, what's the update? I'm like, did you see the deletion? Like, it's one of those things.
Are you an online PH type guy?
No, because they will finesse you on there. They will promise you X, Y, Z.
Yes, they will.
But
I think you're wrong.
That's a fact.
I think you're wrong.
They will finesse you.
Because I was gonna say
they will finesse you, but the real key and hack is leverage. Because what I learned from that conversation that I had about Andrew and him having a VA take his science and classes with him is all about leverage. That's the thing that we're not understanding fully. Is leverage. He's at home taking a nap while somebody's doing all the hard work for him. Right. And that's what major companies do. And there is a certain point where you have to elevate and move past it. Yes, correct. But never diminish a virtual assistant overseas, because they run everything that's going on in this country. Don't fucking play with me. Virtual assistants run this country.
True.
They run this shit.
Try getting the bank on the phone.
Hey man, give me an SO.
Yo, call the bureau.
Try Experian.
Call the credit bureau. Call Experian.
They're all VAs.
Call Experian. What happens? Call Experian. What happens?
And trust me, if I could work with more Americans, it's just like I would.
Call Experian.
Hey, give me an SOP in the Loom video.
Call anybody. Call anybody. It's a virtual assistant overseas.
Oh, definitely.
And that's the real secret.
Well, big business has to delegate to certain people who they don't have to pay.
There's hotels out there that there's no employees. There's just virtual assistants from a camera.
It's a fact.
Why? Because it's $1.30 an hour. Dude, come on. Yo. $24 a day? Stop it. Stop. Whatever you're going to say, stop.
I don't think you're wrong. I'm just saying that sometimes cheap labor brings cheap results. So for me personally, I'd rather pay an American. It's just like, it's a perfect example of the Trump method. I'd rather pay people here than to go get the iPhone overseas.
My only thing with the people here is like,
what is this?
What is
this? This is an iPhone?
Yeah.
It's an iPhone.
Oh, that's crazy. Let me see your phone. That's crazy. It's another iPhone.
Yeah, yes, and it's all made overseas.
That's crazy.
I mean, there's products. No, there's products, but he's talking about service.
I still
talking
believe
about
in
service.
What's the difference?
There's a huge difference because a VA, it's going to have a conversation with my client.
Yo, I have VAs who do a way better job than I do. Because I be coming at the phone hot. A client says something crazy to me, I'm coming hot. The VA goes, whoa, I'm sorry you felt that way.
Right.
This, and this. I'm like, yo, if you came at me like that, I'm coming at the phone hot. I'm like, yo.
I hear you.
Oh yeah, and so similar to like I was just saying, I'm like you don't want to send me your docs so we can work to help you. Help me help you.
Coming hot.
Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, what am I gonna do? It's gonna cost me money to get this fixed, to even do anything with it.
You already coming too hot. You coming too hot.
I told my VA to translate that to like some sweet. Like, hey, we need your documents.
Exactly.
We're just trying to help you out. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need, like, you know what I'm saying?
That's why you're wrong.
Everything's secure, you know.
Hey.
At the end of the day, that is what it is. You know, VAs are a good secret
That's
in
why
the
you're
industry.
wrong.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
VAs are everything, dog. I'm telling you.
Need to delegate, automate, delegate, systemize.
And they need to be treated like real people, and they need love in the same way.
I love them all. I love everybody.
100%, man. So, man, it was great. It was like I said, I came down here to learn. At the end of the day,
Yes, sir.
Like-
Ty in the building. 850. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Hey, 50. Delete
we came
King.
850, man. And at the end of the day, you're gonna hear a lot more. We still gonna run it back. We're gonna do a whole lot
Yes,
more
sir.
podcasts at the end of the day. I'm glad I get to learn. So, like, I feel like we should drop a little more gems.
Whatever
When you want to give out the flank, like, so
What do you want?
We can't tell them
foundation-
all. We can't tell them everything, Ty.
just the foundation, just the mentality of like a funnel. Because here's the thing, Black Friday's coming up. I'm kind of nervous. Like, man, I'm trying to build out some funnels, some ebooks, some this and that. Like, I understand the concept of it, right? The reason I haven't hired somebody.
I'll tell you.
All right, go ahead.
So, people are at a funnel, right? When you set up a funnel, people think of a landing page. When you have a landing page, the key, when you're trying to sell a product, whether it's $30, $50, $100, it does not matter. What you need to restructure your mindset on a funnel. It means it's a break even. You break even on the front end and you make money on the back end. That's how you make $1 million. I've done this over time and time and time again. I've done every single funnel from every single guru you've ever seen online. I've done it. Why? It's because we create a product on the front end where it costs whatever it means to acquire a customer, and we make money on the back end. I've done millions on millions and millions of dollars. I pull it up on my phone. Here's the key. You're going to sell an ebook. You're going to sell a digital product. You're going to sell a physical product.
The front end's free, right? It's like a
Front
free
end
is fine. Like
is-
it's not. It's
You
just
don't
get
make
them
money
in.
on it.
Yeah.
You don't make money on it.
Basically, yes.
A lead magnet to get the phone number, an email address, or whatever.
Past that. Your front end page is like how much it acquires a customer for.
Mm-hmm.
It costs you $60 to acquire a customer. But the money is made on the back end. We pay Facebook $60 to acquire a customer. But we have a $500 back end and only 10% of it people go through. So that means that 10% out of $500, that means every time somebody pays us $27, we make $50. Because 10% of $500 is $50.
Facts.
So we make $50 every time somebody comes through. We don't make it every single time, but 1 out of 10 people will pay us $500. So we make $50 every single time. It's not $50 coming out every single time. We know that 1 out of 10 people will pay us $500. So $50 comes through every single time somebody pays us $27.
My assumption, step one a video sales letter.
VSL. Love a VSL.
Tough. Consumers are getting way smarter. Every time I run ads, people are like tagging each other. They're tagging their friends. They're tagging their boyfriend. It's like, yo, we should check this out. And they're like, let me see if it's available on Amazon. They're shopping.
Oh, they're definitely Google searching.
They're
it up.
shopping.
They see that product. They say, okay, well, where can I find it cheaper? Like we used to do.
So
for
how about
dropshipping.
services? Like,
What
if
service?
you
industry's
can
never gonna
describe how do you even blew Sean up for his whatever he was doing? I still see his ads every day.
You don't hear people being like, I could dispute this myself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear that?
I hear that.
I hear that all the
DUI, credit
time.
repair.
I hear
do
that
it
all the
yourself.
time.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, I could dispute this myself. Goofy. You a goofy.
Facts.
It's not about that. It's about the people that go through the entire funnel. And I created an ecosystem. I created a huge product. It was $15,000. What happened? Hold on.
Talk to me. I'm listening.
Hold on. I created a $15,000 product. People couldn't afford it. What happened? I did credit repair first. And then I partnered with their funding company. funding will allow you to get to the point where you can pay me 15,000. And if you couldn't qualify for the funding, then you go through my company with credit repair. And if you did qualify, I just put you through funding.
Ecosystem.
At the end of the day, you're still paying me. Always. Because, listen, you buy an Apple MacBook. You're in the ecosystem. You have an iPhone. You have a MacBook. You have an AirPods.
Facts.
You're in the Apple ecosystem. You have to create an ecosystem just like Apple did to be able to make sure and acquire all these customers in the same way. Because not only are you in the Apple ecosystem, but now you're in my ecosystem. You don't qualify for funding? Let's put you through credit repair. You qualify for funding? Let's put you through funding. And then what are they going to do with that money? Yo, I just got $100,000. What do I do with it?
Come over to this hedge fund, Europe.
Come to me, my boy.
Yes, sir.
I'll show you exactly what to do with it.
What ideas you have? You got the hedge fund. You still in e-com. What would you even? Because that's kind of what I do too. I do like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Like phase 1, fix your credit first, however necessary. My team can assist you with that. You know, we'll get that cleaned up, right? Phase 2, funding, find the money. Cool, we get you funded at least 6 figures. Phase 3, I collaborate with other entrepreneurs that have all the answers and take all the guesswork out of.
We help you
That's
get
it.
money.
That's the
And
It
ecosystem.
multiplying.
sends it back to us.
That's
Right.
the ecosystem.
Right.
That's
So
it.
what
I
sort
got
of
you
industries?
$100,000. You got a client $100,000. What are they gonna do with it? You're like, yo, Ty, I have $100,000. What do I do with it?
So what
It
industries
says-
do you sort of see your 15%, 20% return on your money? Like what industries?
Oh, we got
are
a
you-
lot right now. TikTok Shop is
E-commerce.
fire. TikTok Shop is
E-commerce.
coming out. E-commerce.
E-commerce.
You can put your money in our hedge fund. Our hedge fund is booming.
Booming.
Seen-
I don't even push people there.
Nah, it just started.
Your favorite thing to
it's
push
just
people
a
to is just
side
e-com.
thing. It's a side
TikTok
thing.
Shop.
TikTok Shop.
It's a
You,
side
you know what
thing.
TikTok Shop is right now?
I keep slowly hearing about it, seeing
Well,
about it.
I'ma
people's
tell you-
Stop.
stories.
Hold on. Number one thing is what's most marketable. You ever shop on Amazon?
Yeah.
Oh, people
Yeah.
shop on
I
Amazon?
literally. what I
Did you
get on
know
Amazon?
that you could sell on Amazon?
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's how we bring people in.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I didn't know I could sell on Amazon. Well, this is how.
It's not the drop shipping Amazon where you buy stuff from Home Depot and then just post it on Amazon.
It doesn't matter. It's the marketability of Amazon. Amazon's a huge company. It's the marketability. It's like, you've heard of Amazon, right? You buy on Amazon? Cool. This is what we do. We use the marketability of Amazon to hop into things like TikTok shops and to Amazon dropshipping and to Amazon wholesale and Walmart shops and whatever the case may be.
What better leverage do you need? That's where people get the game messed up, bro. There's leverage in these big companies. Do you think let's take a step back. If we were 40, 50 years ago, we had an opportunity to leverage Jeff Bezos' company.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Let me explain that one more time for the podcast. If you had an opportunity to leverage Jeff Bezos' company, which is $1 billion company, and you had a chance to leverage that, and he said, hey, listen, I'm just going to take 15%, but you can post what you want. Like, boom. What? And a lot of people can't fathom that. So, for example, TikTok Shop is new. It's
Brand new.
It's gray area.
September
You
17th.
could do whatever you want on there right now. It's just like when Walmart automation came out, Amazon automation came out. But what happens is you have to have the in. You have to be plugged into the point to be the first people on it.
Right.
Are you crazy?
So it's so funny, bro, Ty. It's so funny, Ty. They call me all the time. Like, I've had 3 big players already hit me up, and they said, oh, man, you need to start pushing this. I was like, I've been on it for 2 months. You're late. And I said, oh, shit. That's how you know you're in the room. When the big boys call you and they say, push this, and I said, I already got it.
Yeah, you was telling me about it earlier, you know, because it's like the wave. Like a couple
Yes.
years ago, like it was probably during COVID. Walmart was blowing up.
Walmart
Everybody
was
had
blowing
that
up.
rainbow circle in their
Yeah,
in their
yeah.
in their stories, right? And then it crashed. You didn't hear a word about it next year, right? Amazon, yeah, that's cool. And then Amazon tightened up because everybody was just getting stuff from Home Depot and Walmart. But like the
Tighten
drop
up.
shipping and the whatever, like I tried it like a couple times, right? And even tried what maybe little Shopify or whatever. But like the TikTok stuff, you know, definitely looking promising. I tried TikTok as well.
Yep.
But it's like, so break this down.
Okay.
Being able to, like the whole automation thing, right? The whole automation, I'll just pay that guy to manage it. So that, but it's like if something breaks, you're at the mercy of that guy that's managing it, and all you can
Definitely.
do is just yell at them. But like
It's running
something broke, and then they're gonna tell you, well, this
It's
happens
running a
with
business,
investing.
sir.
Yeah, so
It's running a
break
business.
that down versus like, okay, if I'm gonna pay somebody $5,000 to run some automation, and it breaks, then all I can do is yell at them, or I
You're
invest
wrong.
the $5,000 and learn it, go through the
That's the
headaches.
wrong mindset, bro.
No, I want you to break it down so a person can
Well,
like not be scared to spend
Okay.
this.
So
type
I'm gonna
of
start it
bread.
like this. I'm starting like this. You're talking about $5,000, and I'm talking about how many users are on TikTok right now. See, my mindset is totally different.
I'm just saying from an average person that's ready for phase 3. They're ready to use the funding. They're ready to
Okay.
invest it. They're ready to have somebody manage their TikTok, Walmart, Amazon store for them.
Okay.
And then it's like, hey, you don't lift a finger. We're going to convert your $5,000 and we're going to like double it in less than 90 days, right?
Okay.
So break
12
that
months.
down. You said, huh?
12 months.
12 months to break even?
I mean, it can have a lot faster, bro.
No, it's a lot
12 months.
faster,
12 months
but-
to be in a contract. But good. What's the question, Ty?
I'm talking legally. Like,
What's
let's
the
just be
question?
very legal. We can't make promises in this podcast. Like,
Yeah.
What's the
we can't say
question?
that crazy.
So it's basically like I said, let's say you're talking to somebody, get $5,000 ready to go to they just want to grow their money. They just want they want to quit their job as soon as possible, and they got this $5,000 just to start off with, and they're trying to see, hey, what's the potential that can grow? My business can grow like by starting off with $5,000. So
Gotcha.
it's like there's a learning curve to it. There are people that sell Amazon courses for like $2,500, $5,000, or $997, right?
Gotcha.
Like so versus them figuring out how to do everything themselves versus like, hey, I'm gonna pay an automation company to run everything, and then if something breaks, then it's just like,
Okay. Well, okay. So I got your question.
Wrong mindset, bro.
So I would say this. If you want to do it yourself, you'll never
Wrong.
make it. You'll never make it. So the reason why you pay somebody $5,000 to run an automation company for you is because we already have everything built out. So, for example, if you're running 50 stores, 100 stores, you already got all through the cutthroat of shit. Any little thing that happens, we can already fix it. Now, when you're dealing with yourself, you're dealing with your own profit, your own stuff, you'll never make it to that point. So what a lot of people don't realize is, man, is like we live in a world now where people can run a $100 million company from their fucking phone and laptop. So TikTok Shop right now is hot. It's making 60 to 100% ROI. So if you're not investing your money in that,
Percent.
if you're not let me repeat that: 60% to 100% ROI. If you're not investing
ROI.
your money in that, you're insane.
Yo,
So that's why I have a shop. That's why he has a shop. I don't know if you got one, but we're gonna
I
get you
wake
one
up
tomorrow.
and I make more money than I've seen.
do you
in
guys
my
know what your
life.
TikTok shops made today?
Yes, like a few.
I got the
$1,000s.
VAs on my phone right now.
A few $1,000s. I wake up and I'm
That's
like,
profit today?
yo, I debate leaving bed. I debate leaving out of my bed because I make so much money from these VAs and from the systems that I put in place. Where I'm just like, should I
but-
wake up? Should I get out of bed?
People will never understand that, bro,
Should I
because
get out of bed?
we live in a
No. And it's not even talking about all the businesses that we run.
I'm just talking about this, just TikTok alone. Like
TikTok shop is
I want
alone?
to let the people know, like
Just
what
TikTok
happened
alone?
today.
You better call me today on TikTok Shop. You better call me today.
Yo.
And you know what I'm selling this shit for?
So both of y'all made thousands on TikTok today.
Tired. You got 850 credit score.
Yeah, let's talk
You
about
got-
you.
You got a Corvette.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
A
Delete
Corvette, about to
King.
buy an Ace i7.
That's the next
About to buy a
podcast.
fucking
What's
like 2-3 new.
next?
Po-
I-
oh
what-
yeah, yeah.
what's
No,
your-
no, no,
what's
no,
your-
no,
what's
hold on,
your
hold on,
goals?
Hold on. Let's save it for the next one. Next one.
So TikTok is where it's at. Automation, that's phase 3.
Automation's
Y'all already know where to
crazy.
go. But yeah, at the end of the day, y'all kind of have an idea of what we do, where you can reach us, and we're gonna drop all the tags at the bottom and everything, links in the bottom of the description and everything. At the end of the day, if your credit ain't together, it's gonna be really hard for you to get the funding. You might be tired of using your own bread, right? You know where to find me: DeleteKing850.com, YouTube, DeleteKing850, IG, DeleteKing850.
Yeah,
Yes,
get
sir.
your credit
Everything.
right with Delete King.
You know, fix your credit first, get you the funding, and then
Ties the man.
you gonna get connected to people like this. You know,
Blessings,
my network
blessings.
can become your network at the end of the day. So, that's what it is. You already know where you can follow me and where you can follow them. I know your IG page is temporarily on private or whatever, or however you want to do. Where can people connect with you and actually like send you a message where they can reach you and like do business with you or
Yeah, please do visit with me. I'm on IG. It's @brains. Like, send me a message. I'll do business with you. Let's get it. Like,
got any other business you want to
this
promote
guy
whatsoever?
does the most amount of credit repair possible.
Funding.
Funding, credit repair, anything and everything possible.
Yeah, and then you guys can connect with me at Mid Help Me, MIDHELP me, ME, and Mid Help Me, because I'll take care of everybody. Got you.
Yeah, but he does all the credit repair. He does all the funding,
That's all we.
and that's all we do.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yo,
Is
that's
episode
it.
1?
We good. Tune into the next one.